Hey YouTubers, what's up? It's yours truly. Back to post another quick video here, just some recent vinyl finds. As always, I hope you enjoy it. Look forward to your comments. Let me know what you think. First one here, we have For Respect by Don Caballero. Just kind of a, instrumental type record there. Not an artist I was familiar with, so I had a chance to listen to that in the store and kind of liked it. Some more cheesy stuff to go into my 80s collection. I'm all about the 80s singles, and this is George Michael's Father Figure, which again, as cheesy as it sounds, I've always loved that song. I've always thought it's one of the, literally in my opinion, one of the top 10 sexiest songs ever. So that was a very cool pickup. I don't want to catch any flack about that, so just leave it alone, guys. Ritchie Blackmore's Rainbow, another really good pickup. I got that CD a little while ago, and that batch of stuff that I told you I picked up from the pawn shop, and really like the CD, so got the vinyl. And in my last video, I think I showed you a 7-inch Strangelove, a 45 single that I got, and I got the exact same thing on a 12-inch single now, which is nice, because I'm a Depeche Mode nut. I absolutely love them. Ice Cube, 2LP, bootlegs and B-sides, just kind of some remixes of some of his stuff that he already had out. Some very cool remixes too, because he used a lot of samples from old Roger and Zapp and things like that, which is, I think, the masters, the godfathers, if you will, of funk to me. So anytime you can incorporate that type of sound in hip-hop, that puts it right where I like it. Moving on, 2LP Broken Social Scene. This is You Forgot It in People. And again, a band I wasn't too familiar with, and a girl in a local shop was playing it the other day, and she was telling me more about it. I bought it, and it is an absolute great record. I've only listened to it one time all the way through, so I really haven't completely absorbed it yet, but again, just from a melody and what I call, beautiful music, if you will, it definitely fits in that category, so I highly recommend that one. And when you really want to mellow out, a little more Bella and Sebastian, Right About Love. This is their new one, and it's just kind of vintage Bellas and Sebastian. And one thing I really like about all their albums is, and I'm sure those of you that like them probably think the same thing, I love the way they put those tints to all of their albums. It's really just kind of their trademark, which I think is kind of cool. But I don't know, just something that always catches my eye. And then when you're feeling a little more on edge, instead of Bella, you might listen to something like this, High on Fire, which is their 2001 release, The Art of Self-Defense. Just kind of the same old, instrumental metal. And then here's another one that I was not familiar with. Again, I was introduced to by a guy in the store where I bought that High on Fire. And I think one of the artists from the High on Fire, this was his first group. I don't know if it was the guitar player, or I have to kind of research this. I'm not very familiar with this group at all. But this is Sleep, Dope Smoker, 2LP set. Kind of interesting too, because it's a 2LP set, and side 1, side 2, and side 3 is all one song. Same riff, same type of vocals, all the way through 3 sides of the same song. So you definitely better like the song if you're going to buy this LP. The 4th side is like a live version, so basically there's 2 songs on this 2LP set. But again, a band I wasn't really familiar with, and kind of enjoyed it when he shared it with me. This is a really good find. I was definitely happy to get this. The White Stripes, White Blood Cells. Found that in near mint condition, which is a very good pickup. So that's White Blood Cells. My favorite album by this band, Testament, which is The New Order. I've had this on CD and cassette for a while, but I actually found this the other day for $3, which I was just ecstatic about. These are typically going from $20 to $25 on eBay, and I got this one for $3, so very cool. And it's just kind of your vintage, mid-late 80s hair / thrash metal. Very good LP. Explore by M. Ward. Again, just another good kind of chill back, listen to soft indie kind of record. And actually, this playing in the background, let me go ahead and pull that out so I don't forget. Black Label Society. This is their new double LP called Order of the Black. And it's, I mean, definitely vintage Black Label. It's just Wilder and them doing their thing. And I'm really excited, too, because I'm going to be going to see them in concert in a few weeks, so that'll be nice. And then here we have Baroness, Blue record. This, again, is a record I've heard a couple of songs off of, but I haven't really heard the whole thing, but found a very good copy on sale and picked it up. But, so I know I definitely like it, but I haven't, like I said, listened to the whole thing to really give a full opinion on the entire record. But that was a very good find at a good price. Oh, wrong side first. This is The Who. Added my Who collection, Meaty, Beady, Big, and Bouncy. And this, you know, has Can't Explain and Pinball Wizard and a few other good songs on there. And this is a copy of Depeche Mode. This has, of course, their hit People Are People. Not in the best of conditions. You know, as you can see, a little bit of wear on the spine and a little bit of fading kind of around here, but it was only $2. I don't have this record, so I thought it could be a good copy to fill in until I find a really great copy. As you know, I do love Depeche Mode. The Minds, Plastic Girls. This is on Alien Snatch Records. Just kind of a, I guess if I had to describe them, a Green Day-ish type feel. And then Mike, you'll love this one because I know I've put this one off for some time, and after watching your last video, I was just like, let me go out and get this record. Fogerty, which is Center Field. Of course, that's, you know, has all kind of hits on that with Center Field, and Rock and Roll Girl is probably my favorite song off of this, but yeah, I finally just picked it up. It's just one of those ones that slipped through my fingers for so long. There's Dag, Righteousness, and this is kind of a popish, R&B-ish type record, I guess is the best way to describe it. Again, not a band I was very familiar with, just kind of saw it, started listening to it in the store, and it ended up sounding pretty good. Hootie and the Blowfish, Fairweather Johnson. This is one of their older records, so it has some of their vintage hits on there. 77s, another band I don't know a ton about, but again, picked it up and listened to it, and it sounded pretty good. Now, I was doing a lot of that this weekend because one of the stores that I go to, a pretty big store, he has so much overstock and inventory that everything in the store is 50% off. Tapes, LPs, even new LPs, everything. So that really got me into digging through and listening to a lot of stuff I may normally not pay attention to, and was like, oh, it was $6, now it's only $3, that's worth to pick up. But anyway, this is Nina. It's All in the Game. Most people probably know her from her one-hit, she was a one-hit wonder back in the 80s of 99 Love Balloons or Red Balloons. And this is another album that she had. It wasn't quite as big, but still has some of that vintage 80s sound in it. Kraftwerk, The Man Machine, from 1978, I think. 78. Kraftwerk, Radioactivity from 1975. It's still hard to believe those guys were around way back then. I mean, they were so ahead of their time with that. It's pretty cool. Here was a really good find. Typo Negative, Dead Again. Nice 2 LP set. And of course, Typo Negative, not the easiest vinyl to find. And this one is on what I call radioactive green vinyl. That's the only way I can think of describe that color. But that was, like I said, another really good find. Not the easiest records to find. Sealed copy of PJ Harvey, To Bring You My Love. I'm always very hit and miss with her. Some of her stuff I love. Some of it is complete crap. But this is one that I know, I haven't listened to the whole thing yet. There's a couple of songs on here I really like, so I'm sure I'll enjoy the rest of this album as well. And this goes back to kind of like one of those, that Fogerty pickup, one I've just overlooked for a while. Found it for a couple of bucks and picked it up. And this is Crosby, Still and Nash So Far. I've had the CD and cassette for a long time, but just not the vinyl. How we doing on time? Oh, you've got plenty of time here. So a few new pickups 45-wise, and all of these were some of that 50% off stuff I was telling you about. So Pink Floyd, Learning to Fly. Get 45 there. Talking Heads, Burning Down the House. Another good 45. Phil Collins, Take Me Home. The Trogs, Wild Thing. This is an interesting one too. Hot Damn. This one's called Beaver Shot. Another very interesting 45 there. And then The One I Love, R.E.M. Of course, a classic track by them. And the last 45, which is Phil Collins, Something Happened on the Way to Heaven. Which is really cool too. This is actually a gatefold 45. And it has kind of built in the middle of this little booklet with photographs there. And then the 45 here at the end with its own sleeve. This is really awesome. I really wish they would do more of this with 45s. You know, because vinyl collectors, I know a lot of us, we like to collect 45s, but it would kind of be cool if you could get the same satisfaction of the artwork like this. I mean, that's just instead of just sometimes even just a paper white sleeve. But that's just a really, really cool setup. So, again, that was a very cool pickup. I'm sorry, let me take out music here. And then the last two, I don't think I pulled them out. I don't think I showed this one last time. If I did, I apologize, but here's a new Weezer album, Hurley. So pick that up. And then the last record, definitely my great new finds, which is the Neil Young new album, Le Noise. This is the album that, well, I guess I start off by saying, you know, of course, Dan is a huge Neil Young fan, and he was ranting and raving about this before it came out, and he did that review and was ranting and raving about it after it came out. So I was like, well, you know, obviously he knows what he's talking about a lot of things. Let me go check it out. So I went and got it, and he couldn't be more on the mark. I mean, this album is pretty freaking incredible. I've never heard an album where I think the cover really kind of defines exactly how this album was done. Just kind of Neil sitting there with his guitar is the impression I get. But yet, sonically, they made the sound of his guitar just so big and heavy and just kind of, it's almost like overwhelming sometimes when you're playing it. And I guess the best way to describe it, if someone comes over and ever sees your vinyl collection and goes, you know, like, whoa, and, you know, all this money you put into your equipment and everything, and they say, like, let's hear it, this is the album that you put on to demonstrate why vinyl squashes CDs and MP3s and everything else. So I don't know if that maybe kind of gives you an idea of just about the sound and the how deep the sound is within this particular album. Very, very good stuff. So I'll kind of support Dan on his review of this. I highly recommend checking out this album if you haven't got a chance. It's a little bit overpriced, I think, for a single LP, but at the same time, I think it definitely was worth it. So, anyway, those are my recent vinyl finds, as always. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I got a bunch of other CDs and stuff. I'll be posting some videos for that later. And until then, take care, YouTubers.